Hello, Julie Kay here, helping you find your way through grief and loss. I want to know a very important question today. And my question is really all for you to think about this. What are you expecting for this holiday season of 2022? I mean, it's upon us. We're in December now. So, what are you expecting? What are you expecting of your family, for example? What are you expecting of your friends? What are your expectations of yourself? What are your expectations of just even the holiday itself? Maybe you have expectations. In other words, what do you need or want to happen for yourself? Because if you are a griever, if you are grieving, I'm really speaking to you. You know, we've all experienced loss. Most people have experienced loss some way, shape, or form. So we're all in that boat together. But if you are actively grieving over someone you lost, a loved one, it may have been years, it may have just happened this year. I'm just saying, I'm speaking to you. What do you want or need to help you through your loss, through your pain, through your loneliness, through your depression, through your stress, through your being overwhelmed and exhausted? Now, when I ask you that, two things are important to keep in mind that I want you to be thinking about is that you probably may have not thought of this consciously. So what I'm trying to do is bring this into your conscious to help you to really think through this, maybe even journal about it. Not just on this video, but get off this video and think about this. Bring it into your conscious, become aware of what your expectations are. So before I go any further on this short video, I want you to know what I'm trying to help you to happen in your life, okay, in the short video and beyond this, if you want it to go beyond. I want to help you not to add on more onto your pain, not add more pain upon pain, more stress upon stress, more overwhelm than you already are. I want to help you maybe take some of that off, or at least stop it from being increased. You don't need to experience more hurt, more pain, more sadness than you already feel this holiday season. So this is what I'm trying to help you with. And therefore, I hope to maybe help you experience a little more peace. Yeah, supernatural peace, but you can experience it. Maybe a little more peace, maybe a little more positive thinking, and a little more healing, where you are positioning yourself to receive healing, even through the holidays. I believe you can maybe experience healing through the holidays. So, and I call that learning to thrive through all types of circumstances and even through loss. So I want to share a little bit where I was last year with you so that you don't think that I have arrived, because I have not. I'm still in the boat with y'all. But last year and this year, I definitely see a difference in myself. And I'm thankful for that from the Lord, because I'm actually into Christmas this year. Not that you have to be, but there's still some question about whether I'm going to my family gathering or not, because one of the relationships in my family needs to have some resolution. And it ties back into last year. But last year I almost did this last week with my video and said, bah humbug. I wasn't quite that extreme, but I just did my thing to do with Christmas. And I was just not, I had a lot more grief bursts, as I shared last week on my videos, what a grief burst is. So watch last week's, what that is. I had more grief bursts about my daughter than I did the first Christmas, even though she had died earlier in the year of 2020. So you just don't know when things are going to happen or how they're going to happen. That's one expectation that I hope you all let go of right now, expecting to be over your grief a certain time, in a certain time frame or whatever. Don't expect that. Okay. So I was not in a good place last year, and I did not end up going to my family gathering, which was Christmas Day evening. And I really ended up, for many reasons, believing that was best, but it felt really weird because I'd always gone to my family gatherings. So I just want to share a little bit about what I've been through. But because of working on me, I'm in a much better place this year. I've still had some grief bursts, still working through things. Okay. But enough about me. So expectations about your family is a great place to start during the holidays because it's one of the ones we're usually a little more conscious of, right? Because we usually get together with our families if we can. So think about that, journal about it, write it down. What are your expectations of them? Do you expect them to be kind, compassionate, understanding, to have the right words to say to you, to be there for you, just to name a few? What about your friends? Same type of thing. Your good friends versus your casual friends, right? It's important to bring these things into awareness and learn how to manage your expectations, to learn how to manage them, because you will help yourself to get through the holidays in a more, again, less negative way, hopefully maybe a little more positive way. And so that's what I'm trying to help you to do. So expectations of the holidays themselves, like, oh, I just expect that the lights, which I love lights. The lights are one of my favorite physical things about the holidays. I expect that the music is just going to soothe me and take away all this, pain in my heart. Maybe you have expectations of the holidays itself, the world. At large about the holidays. I don't know. Just get in touch with them. Think about this because then the two things I want to, already mentioned the first one. Sorry, the first of the two was that usually we're not always consciously necessarily aware of all of expectations. Maybe you are of some of them, but you're not of others. So I'm trying to help you to become aware of them. Second of all, big one, Gary Rowe shared this. He's a world-renowned grief expert, I would call him, and I'm considering him a mentor in all of this. He shared about how they're usually unrealistic. So this is the next biggie about our expectations. They're usually unrealistic. We like to point at everybody else and what we think they should do and what they, have done in the past or what they should do or what they should do now because they know you've lost somebody very dear to you. Yeah, it's not helping us to have those high expectations or maybe any expectations of others. So this is what I want to help you do to help yourself because you cannot, as I say, circle of control, what's out of the circle, you can't control. And part of what's out of the circle is not just the weather or politics or the world events. What's out of your control is also what other people do or don't do, what they say or don't say. You cannot control that. And if you try to, it's probably not going to be pretty and you're going to make yourself even more miserable. What's inside the circle is what's in your control. And that's what's mostly inside of you, your thoughts, your, emotions, which come from your thoughts, your decisions, your attitude, your perspective, all of that. Not going to go into that great detail, but all that is inside of your control. So I want to try to help you with work on what's inside of your control. What about the expectations of yourself? That is really important to think through because that you can work on. That's inside of your circle of control, believe it or not. And if you can't if you realize your, personal expectations of yourself and you can't manage them, I'd be happy to help. But you need to look at that. So like last year, I actually expected myself because I had thought about it for a couple of years to have get-togethers on Christmas Day to help people who are in need, whatever that looked like. And I know of a woman who is called Grandma Beverly from our church that is in heaven now, who used to have big get-togethers on Christmas Day at a restaurant for those who didn't have other family, what have you, right? Or were estranged from their families, whatever it is. So last year I was like, oh, I can do that this year. So I kind of expected myself to get kind of a big group of people together. Well, that didn't happen. It didn't end up having two friends that we got together and we went to a restaurant and it was blessed and it was good. So, that's just one of the ones I thought of that I had of myself last year. Okay. And I had too high of expectations of certain family members that they, and they were not just unconscious to some degree, but they were I didn't express them. I didn't know how to yet. So You may not know how to this year, but I'm trying to help you. Maybe you can. Maybe there's somebody you know you can trust and you feel safe with in your family or your friends that you can share with them what you need, what you really want and need for the holidays from them. And maybe they'll really care and respond in a positive way that's worthwhile. So I didn't express it to anybody. I didn't totally know how to. I didn't totally know if they would care. So that didn't help. Okay. So, so again, let's bring them into the conscious, your expectation, and let's also um, bring them down, not so high expectations, so that they can be more realistic and not be so disappointing if they're not met. And that's what's going to help you through the holidays. Like Gary Rose says, the holidays are going to be different this year. And if you've already had years past, you probably know what I'm saying. Even years past, it's going to be different. Life is always different. Life is changing. Our lives are changing, but they can still be good. The holiday time can still be good in ways. They can still be good. I don't know if you hear that noise behind me. My kitty's behind me, by the way. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I don't have a song to share with you today. Although those of you who can tap into Joy FM, and I'm sure there's other channels around the nation or the world that have not just Christmas music, but a lot of the inspirational Christmas music, joyful Christmas music, and so forth. So I encourage you to tap into that. And what I also want to offer to you is my complimentary 1-hour consult that I do with anybody, no obligations, where we get to know each other and I get to know your needs, your biggest needs, and I see how I can help you, refer you, make a suggestion, or possibly, do some coaching together. I never got my master's, so I'm not a licensed counselor, but I have a certificate in counseling and coaching. I would love to work with you. I just so have a desire that God's given me to help others who are grieving, to move through your mourning, is what I call it. Move through your mourning, MOURNING. So I want to help you with that, and reach out to me by commenting on this video or by PMing me on Messenger, Julie Kettles. My branding is going to be changing. I'm not sure what I'm changing, and not necessarily all at once, but it's going to be Julie K, K-A-Y. In the past, I've written the letter K, which represents my last name, Kettles, and my middle name, K-A-Y. But because of my speech that I just did a few weeks ago and how I refer to, the path we choose to take in life, because a lot of things are in our control to choose, I like to say Julie K, helping you find your way through grief and loss. So I'm going to brand it with that, and I'm excited. So my voice is cutting up, excuse me. Merry Christmas. And you say, Merry Christmas. I hope that your Christmas can be good. So this holiday season, let's look at your expectations, evaluate them, bring them down to just let them go or reduce them so that you don't cause yourself more grief during the 2022 holidays. So signing off, Julie K. Merry Christmas. See you next week for more about the holidays.